Hello there, my name's Trudy, One Grounded Angel, and I'm going to read some angel cards for the week starting Monday the 2nd of November through to Sunday the 8th of November 2020. So I have some great news for you this week. The Mercury retrograde finishes on the 3rd, so finally. It's been a challenging one, this one, for me personally. I don't know how it's been for you, but I'm pretty happy that it's coming to an end, although we have to acknowledge that there can be a post-shadow period where things can still be a little bit haywire, but the biggest challenges to communication, to public transport, travel, cognitive thought should be alleviating pretty quickly once that planet Mercury goes direct. And Mercury is one of the most magnetic planets. That's why we tend to feel its transits acutely. So shuffling the cards here, this is Monday's card. You are not afraid. Now, my first thought upon seeing this is that it's trying to do a bit of a reverse psychology thing. And what I would say is the card's not trying to convince you that you're not afraid. If you're afraid, you're afraid. We need to own our emotions and be honest about them. But what we also need to do is not let that fear stop us. And we've had so many big messages encouraging us to step into courage, to not let fear swamp us or force us to go against things that we know are right. And this is very much in line with that theme. Sometimes fear wears disguises as well. That's one thing I would say. Procrastination is often fear in disguise. We think, oh, I must be lazy because I'm not starting this thing that I want to do. And it's not that you're lazy, it's often that, or that you're lacking willpower. It's more about a fear of, if I do this thing, I might suck at it, or I might be really good at it, and then I'm going to have to do it again, and there will be pressure on me, or I'll be exposed and I'll be, subject to judgment. All these sorts of things can come up. So I feel this card may be asking some of you, is it fear that's playing out in your problem that you're facing at the moment? Fear wearing a certain disguise. And the other thing to notice about this card is it's really important that you talk to your angels for help about this. They can't help you move through something if you don't ask, because of free will. So it doesn't have to be a formal prayer. You can just do this casually. Hey, Archangel Michael, for example, who's associated with courage and strength, can you give me a bit of help with this problem? Or even just, if you don't know who to direct a request for help to, just say, hey, spirit team. It'll reach the right person. Don't worry about that, or the right entity, I should say. Person. Tuesday's card is comfort. What a welcome card, especially the times that we're in, particularly in the US. So this is comforting you, letting you know things are going to be okay. We need reassurance constantly because we're human and life is hard. But perhaps in these times, given the year we're in, we need it even more now. So I think if you put those two cards together, you can probably see very clearly a theme of some challenging times ahead. No surprises there, but super loads of reassurance to help us get through that. Remember that even though things are hard, doesn't mean that we can't get through them. We've got so much more resilience than what we realize. So definitely call for help if you need it, support. And I would say also it's a good idea to ask for a sign if you're struggling to feel like you've got enough support around you. You can just say something like, angels, can you please give me a sign to let me know I'm not alone? And then just leave it open for them to find the right sign for you. So Wednesday's card is sweetness, a bit of light relief here, reminding us to tap into the joy of life and to enjoy our lives. Make sure we are rewarding ourselves. We are doing things that bring us joy. We are taking time to, really spend quality time with our loved ones, to really step into joy. And something that comes up occasionally in my work with people is that some people can be afraid of joy because joy can be taken away and they don't want to fully step into it, because if they do and it feels really good, well, what happens if it doesn't work out, that thing that I'm really enjoying? Sometimes people will talk to me about watching their newborn baby and being so happy but also so terrified, because now what if something happens to that baby? So if joy is always associated with fear or anxiety, that's worth working with a healer on to try and get to the bottom of that. Thursday's card, take your time making this decision. when we rush into decisions, we're often operating off instinct or social pressures and expectations. It's rare, well, this is my opinion, of course. What I found is that if I really want to get to the heart of what my intuition is guiding me towards, the best thing to do is actually step back, buy myself some time. Don't say yes straight away. Don't say no straight away. Buy myself some time for self-reflection and just to sit with it. Sometimes distracting myself. I don't know if you've ever found this, but often the right answer comes to me when I'm in the shower. So that can certainly be the case. You'll suddenly realize, I actually don't want to work for those people, and I don't think that this trip is right for me anymore, whatever it is. So before you, if you are facing a decision, try to buy yourself some time before you make it, because rushing into things is probably not going to go so well. You'll be more likely to be pulled along by other influences, such as people who may have the best of intentions, but perhaps can't really speak to what's right for you because they don't know. They can only speak to what's right for them. Friday's card is Truth Be Told. We've had this recently, and I never tire of looking at it. It's such a beautiful card. The owl there, it's symbol of wisdom, opening its heart and letting love flow. I love that. And the symbolism of the mask, I've talked about this before, I know, but that idea of authenticity, a lot of us are wearing masks. The good wife, the good mother, the good son, the good employee, or the good boss, instead of actually being authentic and saying, hey, I'm really struggling with this and I need some help, or I think I've made a mistake here and I shouldn't have said that, I'm sorry, or whatever it is. Or I know I said I would help you move, help you, whatever it was, but I've realized that that's not something I can commit to, and I'm sorry. Whatever it is, just being authentic is what you need to know about this, and particularly in matters of the heart. Things that authenticity is well, you could say it comes from the solar plexus, but I also think it comes from the heart as well. This is the place where we connect to our feelings. Or one of the places, and certainly the sacral being another. This is a place where we can really get to grips with that connection to our intuition. What is it that is right for me in this moment? So really leaning into that and being authentic. Of course, once you know what's right for you, you have to have the courage to actually follow through, and that's where Monday's card comes through. So shuffling now for Saturday, and we'll see what comes up there. So far the cards have been pretty straightforward. I should not say that. Things will take a turn. What am I doing? Well, it feels to me like so far they've been, maybe I have got the wrong card deck here. I do. I'm going to go with this one here. This larger card deck, super awkward to shuffle. Oh, here we go, success. Now, what is your definition of success? This is a really important question to ask yourself, because often when we do a bit of prodding around, what we find is that our ideas of success are actually tethered to what other people think. Our parents think that having a certain job or a certain job position is what success looks like, while perhaps our peers might think that looking a certain way is the definition of success. So being able to distinguish between what is my understanding of success, what do I value, from what other people expect, whether they put that on you overtly or covertly, that's really important. And I think that this is really asking you to realize that, to come into a place of acceptance and understand that your life is successful. Just because it doesn't hit certain barometers that other people might have doesn't mean you've failed. We need to be willing to accept where we are in order to move forward. I know there are tons of things you still want to achieve in your life. This isn't saying, oh, you're done. It's just saying, please understand you're not a failure just because things haven't gone a certain way for you. You're exactly where you need to be. And if that's a place you don't want to be, great. That tells you that what you need to do now is to move forward and to make changes. What you definitely don't want to be doing is blaming other people. You want to step into your own power. When we blame and complain, we are handing over our power. Instead, what you want to do is look at, what's my role in this? And I'm not saying it's all your fault. I'm sure there are other people who've contributed, but what you want to do is go, I can own my own power now, and that starts by me making changes in the right direction. And so really thinking about what that might look like for you. yeah, I feel like there's a lot of self-compassion coming through with this, to really remind you that not to beat yourself up, not to shame yourself or see yourself as a failure. And the story is not over yet. You've still got things to do, but we need to understand that in many ways your life actually is successful now, even though it's not quite where you want it to be yet. And again, if you don't feel like you're a success, is that because your expectations about what success are were either unrealistic or not yours in the first place? Maybe they were handed down. I know this happens a lot for the children of immigrants. There's often a very clear expectation in terms of education level, job, perhaps even income, about what your life has to look like, and that can be really, really tough to grapple with. Now, Sunday's card is crystals, which I don't think has ever come up on I might be wrong, on a daily card pull. So if you have a connection with crystal, happy days. Work with crystals. You might like to develop that by becoming a crystal healer, or you know, getting crystals that speak to you. If that's not for you at all, you might like to think about, there's a couple of crystals around me you can see as well probably. This is about nature. Crystals come from nature, remember, so that healing property of nature. Again, spending time outdoors, connecting with nature. You might like to be really tactile with that, because often when we handle crystals we can feel, depending on how sensitive you are to energy, we can feel some of the energy or vibration from it. So, you know, putting your hands in the ocean, I love that feeling of the waves pulling against the resistance against my hands. I love touching leaves and trees, hugging trees. That may not speak to you at all. You might think I'm a hippie weirdo. That's okay, I'll own that. But you need to do what feels right for you. Being around nature can be amazing, even if you're not immersed in it as such. So get outdoors, get away from your screen and get outside. I know it's really easy to just wallow in front of the screen, but this probably isn't going to help you. Have I got enough cards here? I do, okay. So looking at the cards, I think there's a lot of courage and reassurance coming through, which is pretty welcome, and a lot of empowering energy, encouraging us to focus on success and what that looks like, being authentic, making decisions that are right for us. So that's it for this week. We are coming up to the end of the year very rapidly, alarmingly. So if you feel like, because of what's happened in the world or anything else, for any other reason, that your plans for 2020 have been waylaid, maybe it's time to start thinking about, with the time I have left, what can I do that will get me value out of this year? Maybe it is spending more time actually enjoying the sweetness, the joy of life, and being really present in those moments. Maybe it's getting outdoors more often to clear my energy, to help restore my my ability to feel a bit less stressed, and restore some confidence in my ability to ground myself and feel like I can handle things. Maybe it's working on making tough decisions. I don't know. That's something you might like to reflect on. Take it with a grain of salt. Take what you need, reject what you don't, and remember to trust your intuition at all times. If you're feeling like an energy healing would be helpful for you to clear some of the things you've taken on this year, some of that lockdown time may have brought up a lot of issues or patterns that you're suddenly aware, I think I need to take some steps to move past those. You can reach me for a personal energy healing session on my website, www.onegroundedangel.com. Bear in mind, some patterns take more than one session, but one session is a pretty good place to start. And also, if you are enamored of the cards, as so many people are, you might like to book a personal reading, which can give you some great insights as well. It's also a time to be really conscious of heading into the new year. The angel cards can give us a good indication of what it is that we maybe need to be working on if we need some help with that. Often your intuition is already guiding you. And in fact, the most common piece of feedback I get from my work is, I already knew that, but I needed to hear it, or I needed the confirmation, or I just wasn't sure, and now I know. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a good week. Take care out there. Be gentle with yourself. Enjoy your life, and have some courage. You have enough courage to get through this. You really do. Take care of yourselves, and I'll be back here next week to read for you again. Goodbye.